Hey traders, let's take a moment to thank and feature one of our top sponsors, FX2 Funding. If you're looking to get funded, listen up. FX2 is offering traders the chance to trade with up to $200,000 in simulated capital and receive up to 85% of their results. If you're interested in getting started, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below. If you pass the evaluation, you'll receive your fee back and gain access to your new account. FX2 allows traders access to a wide range of assets and allows traders to hold their trades over the weekend. FX2 is giving A1 Trading Show fans 15% off the evaluation fee if you use promo code A1Trading15. So if you'd like to learn more, again, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below and use code A1Trading15 at checkout for a discount on any of their evaluations. Now back to the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. And thanks to, of course, FX2 and our sponsors, we are here today. And speaking of that, we've got some cool stuff. Part of the reason that we are here is, of course, thanks to our community. And the community has asked for something for quite some time that we have not done before. We've got some fun announcements to do. James, we've got a trading competition coming up. Tell us a little bit about it. I know you're excited. I'm certainly excited to see what people do. And by the way, before you say anything, this is a free to join competition. No pay to enter, no only members. This is a free to join trading competition. And it's really going to be fun. We're doing it next month. James, give us some more information about it.
Yeah, I'll give you guys some more information in just a second. We actually have a quick video that we can run first that talks a little bit about the trading competition, and then I'll give a few more details right after that. So check this out. Do you want a free chance to win $100, the A1 Edge Finder, and access to more of our products and services?
Yes! Yes, yes!
Well, we're hosting a trading competition featuring you, the A1 trading community, happening throughout the month of October. If you'd like to join this free competition, all you have to do is submit a 60-second video submission to this email right here, james.a1trading@gmail.com. Give us your name, where you're from, why you got into trading, and why you think that you would be a good fit for this competition. Again, it's totally free to join, and we are going to pick 10 of the best video submissions from you guys all around the world to compete against each other in this trading competition. But there's only a few days left for your submissions, so don't wait. If you're interested, go ahead, make that video and send it to that email. For more information, you can find this YouTube video on the A1 Trading YouTube channel right now with more details about the competition. If you are selected, we will reach back out to you via email. So good luck to all of those who join.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we are very excited about this trading competition. If you haven't seen it already, last month we did a in-office trading competition for the 6 of us in the office here that don't actually trade, have never traded before. And that was a lot of fun. We decided that we wanted to do it again with the audience members as well. So yeah, all you have to do if you want to be a part of this trading competition, I'll give a few more details here actually. So it's going to be next month, and it's going to run from, I believe, let me check the calendar. It's going to run from October 4th until October 25th. So it's going to be 3 weeks, October 4th to October 25th. And we are looking for serious traders who are comfortable kind of just filming themselves and giving a few updates throughout the week on their trading. If you are selected, I'll have a lot more information for you. And in fact, we may even just hop on a call if we can, so we can run through some of the stuff. But it's all going to be on demo accounts, and everyone's going to be trading with the same amount. So don't worry if you don't want to risk your own money in this trading competition. That's not what we're trying to do. We just want to have a fun, friendly, relaxed, as relaxed as trading can be, trading competition on demo accounts where everybody is playing with an equal account. So yeah, if you want to create a 60-second video talking about who you are and entering into that trading competition, you can send it to my email, and I will type my email in the chat here for you just so that you can have it for later.
And while you do that, James, while you type that in, let me also say, guys, what we're going to do is, I know this is a lot of information at once. We're going to make a post about this in our Telegram channel. We're giving away some really awesome prizes. These are totally free to join prizes. We just want the community to partake and get some real traders on the floor. So all you got to do right now, if you want more information about this in text form, join the Telegram channel. We've got the Telegram. Thank you to Chandler for putting that there. We're going to make a post shortly after this live stream just about the competition and where you can find more information. It is free to join. Like I said, you can win cash prizes. You can win access to the EDGEFINDER. We've got some really cool prizes that we're putting up, and we just, again, it's kind of a community thing. So join the Telegram. That's the easiest way to keep up to date with updates, announcements, future competitions. And again, it's a free way to win some prizes. So yeah. And again, James's email is in the chat as well. We'll put more information in the Telegram for you if you would like to submit a submission and join the competition.
Yeah. And we're gonna accept submissions today and tomorrow, and on Friday we are going to be reaching out to everyone who is selected. Again, we're only selecting 10 people, so if you want to be a part of it, you need to submit your entry either today or tomorrow before it ends, because I'm going to close that at the end of the day on Thursday so that we can reach out to all the winners on Friday. So if you want to be a part of it, it's a free submission. All you have to do is email a video, and maybe you'll get a chance to be a part of this trading competition. So if you're interested, you guys can go ahead and do that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There we go. Well, thank you, James, for that update. Not really a big news day today, and I could take it from here. But again, guys, James put together a competition. Please join the Telegram if you haven't already. We'll be sending out more notifications and updates on the competition. That's the easiest way for us to keep in contact with everybody is through Telegram. And we'll be dropping info there. So thank you guys, or thank you, James, for coming on and sharing a little bit more about the competition, which is again starting next month. So we'll hear back from you, I'm sure, tomorrow with more details.
Yep, we're looking forward to it.
Okay, see you, James. Guys, oil has just shot to the moon here overnight. We are still, Crystal says I missed the information. If you're serious and would like to join the competition, like I said, the easiest way to get rules and information is join our Telegram channel. It is linked in the chat. We will be putting together more information there. So if you'd like to join, it is free to join, win real prizes, win money, all sorts of stuff. Click the link, join the Telegram. All right. So like I said, I am still long oil, guys. I'll show you guys my position where I'm at with oil. This is my current P&L right here. I'm up just under $1,800 on this move here. I picked up oil off of a pullback to support. But let me be very transparent for a second. I attempted to go long oil before this, and it did not go so well. So this is a second. This is another attempt here to see if I can catch the next leg higher on oil. But we're at a really important point. If you're watching the dollar, if you're watching, the stock market, if you're watching currency pairs, it's been an interesting week so far. And as we come up to this level of resistance, my question is, can we break higher? For those of you guys who have watched oil with me here, here's the thing that I've done. I have moved my stop loss. I alerted this to members. I moved my stop loss into profit just beneath this level of past support. Past resistance, which I think now could hold as support. So my idea here is that my stop loss is in place. If we reject off the highs, if this thing completely comes down and crashes underneath support, I will trail out for a profit. So I'm in a great position. I can't lose on this. At this point, if the market reverses, I'll still make good money off of the oil trade. But if we're able to break through the highs, that's where things get interesting. Because if things break through the highs, I'll look to trail my stop higher and let this thing run further. Oil has been awesome this week. Really clean price action off of these lows. And again, my entry was right off the bottom of this wick, right? So this price wicked underneath support, came right back up in, and I went ahead and just picked it up long with a stop below this the previous wick. So far doing very, very well on this oil trade and trailing stops. Like I said, up about $1,800 right now. We'll see if this one wants to play ball and see if we can get through that resistance. Again, this actually should now be green instead of red because this level should act as support from here. I'm looking for, again, oil to continue its push higher. And if it doesn't, I'm stopping out. Okay, let's move on and take a quick look at the dollar now. The dollar index is flying higher yet again. If you have been a dollar bear, it's been a tough time. And you're probably aware of that because, again, it has just been a nonstop push higher, which has put a lot of pressure on a lot of different charts. Euro dollar down, pound dollar down, gold against the dollar, of course, down. Across the board, it's been really a strong pressure in the financial market. This dollar strength is also putting pressure on the indices as well. And a lot of people are going to say, well, Nick, is this thing overdone? Is the dollar due for a sell-off? And I can't tell you guys how often I get comments on my channel and things like this. When the dollar is really strong like this, people are all saying it's due for a pullback. It's due for a pullback. And it's not just in the comment section, it's also in the sentiment that we can actually pull from the retail sentiment tab on the EDGEFINDER. So what I mean by that is that the dollar strength the dollar being up so much, what this usually does is it usually attracts a ton of short interest from retail traders because everybody thinks, hey, this thing is too high, it's got to come down. And while maybe it is due for a pullback, trying to time that pullback is historically very difficult. There's a reason why they say it's very hard to pick the tops and bottoms in the market, right? This dollar move, trying to pick the top of this has been a dangerous game for quite some time. And I'll show you something really interesting here on the EDGEFINDER. Look at this. If you take a look at dollar yen, which has been screaming higher, dollar CAD flying higher, retail traders are shorting these markets pretty substantially. Okay, so they're shorting the dollar here. Well, take a look at Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and pound dollar, and actually euro dollar for that case. On these charts, we see retail traders are very much long. So they're buying things like the Australian dollar, the Kiwi, they're buying the pound, they're buying the euro, and they're shorting the US dollar. So pretty across the board here on the major currency pairs side of things, retail is betting that the dollar index is going lower. And so what has the dollar index been doing? It's just been floating higher the whole time. Trying to fight the dollar strength here, in my opinion, is probably the hardest trade on the board. The dollar strength is really backed by fundamentals lately. Again, we had a hawkish Federal Reserve. We had strong high inflationary readings recently. We have, government shutdown fears. We have, the indices selling off, and there's so many things at play here that are driving this U.S. dollar higher. And in my opinion, the easiest trade is waiting for the pullback. And the hardest trade is shorting the dollar when it's up here. Okay, so how, Nick, then when would you sell the dollar? I would wait for true signs of weakness. What I mean by that is support no longer holding, resistance becoming very clear, fundamental factors changing. So the point is, I wouldn't short it anywhere near where it currently is. Is it high? Yes. But can it go higher? Absolutely it could. The fundamental factors are real. And this is why, again, purely technical traders can get in trouble when they look at a trend like this and they say, oh, that's too high, right? Fundamental drivers can be persistent and strong for a very long time. Let me show you a fundamental factor that is worth noting. It's the 2-year. The 2-year has been really strong overall. And at the same time, you have the 10-year. These are the yields world. And if you're not familiar with the bonds world, rising yields usually signal, the market thinks that interest rates are going to go higher. So why buy bonds now when you could wait for interest rates to stay higher for a prolonged period of time, the value of bonds to go lower, and then you could buy them for cheaper, right? That's basically what the bonds market is thinking. So with this pressure, this is going to continue to drive the dollar higher, in my opinion. I've been dollar bullish for a few weeks now, and I'm sticking to that until further notice. So how do you trade it? How do you actually find trades off of this information? Well, we go to the EDGEFINDER, top setups, and we look at what the algorithm is pointing towards. Still dollar bullishness. Has been very correct about the dollar bullish move. It's also been bearish on indices. It's been bearish now on gold. This is a new alert. Aussie dollar, pound dollar, euro dollar, Kiwi dollar, all of these have been getting bearish readings from the EDGEFINDER for weeks now. And if you've been on that trade, then congratulations. I put out a video recently talking about dollar strength, and I asked people in the chat that had the EDGEFINDER, like, hey, did you catch some of that dollar bullishness? And a lot of people were like, yes, I did. The EDGEFINDER was able to help me find those trades, which is awesome. But how do you actually use these alerts to find trades? Well, I'll show you. So if I look at dollar yen, for example, dollar Japanese yen, the dollar has been, like I said, very, very strong. And the reality is that this move, there's nothing for me to do up here. I can't really short it because, again, I'm bullish on it, but I can't really buy it because it's already made the move. So the trade that makes the most sense but requires patience is, for me, waiting for pullbacks. I'm looking at the 38.2, the 50%. I'm looking at these areas for possible trend continuations, but I have to wait and be patient. Fortunately, for my own personal sake, I'm still long oil and letting this one run. This thing has been a beast. And so I'm just kind of letting that trade play out for now, and should be interesting. Take a look at gold here real quick. Gold breaking down yet again. And I want to talk to somebody who is short on gold. He caught this short back in this area, 1925. We talked to him yesterday. This is Frank. We'll bring him in just a moment. But before we do, we're gonna thank our sponsors. We'll come back to Frank in just a moment. So actually, let's do that now. We're going to thank the sponsors. We'll come back and talk about gold for a moment with Frank, and then we'll bring in Gary, FX Big Dog, for his ideas as well. So coming at you in just a moment.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, guys, we are back with we got the panel here today. We got Frank and we've got Gary, Mr. FX Big Dog. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you. Nick, how are you doing?
I'm good. Gary, I brought in Frank here as well. Frank is my co-trader here at the office. We manage the live room together. And I wanted to ask both of you guys. Gary, I'll come to you first, and I want to go to Frank too. Gold has been tanking. And Gary, I know also just from some of our previous conversations that you've been bearish on gold. I also know Frank is bearish on gold. What are you looking at? I think the last time we talked about this, Gary, you were saying, 1800s seem reasonable. And here we are, we've broken into the 1800s again. And, to my surprise, I thought gold would hold up a little bit better than this. So what are you looking at? And we'll let you share your screen and go for a minute here.
Sure. So the reason being, the reason why I identified that gold could drop down to around about 1809 is due to patterns in the market. And I'm a big pattern trader. So if we take a look over here on the chart, we see that price created this wave structure, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So once we completed that fifth wave, the market tends to chase after the fourth wave low. It is a common thing. More often than not, we see the market doing exactly that. And so the low that we're chasing after is chasing after 1809. So 1809 is the downside target. Now, there are certain things that could play out that could change things around. Again, depending, of course, how the Feds approach the rate decision. We all know that what's going down right now is the inflation is starting to tick up a little higher again. We had a downside move, but now we're seeing it starting to move up a little higher. Feds kept the rates unchanged, but there's a possibility that the next meeting they'll start raising again if inflation rate starts moving back up again. We know that they're trying to hold off from raising rates because of the banking sector. They're creating pressure on the banking sector based on their purchase of treasury bonds at 3%. So there's a whole bunch of things going down right now that they could slow the process of the Feds raising rates. That could continue to see gold dropping back down south. But as soon as the Fed starts kicking in and starts doing things and the dollar starts falling, then this could drive the gold back up again. So I think that the most important thing is we've got to take a look at the dollar index and see what dollar index is doing. If I go to dollar index, we are seeing dollar index breaking through this rising wedge here, which is a typical sign of a possible quick retracement if we get back into this trend line right here. So this trend line, if we see the dollar index turn around and go back inside here, we're going to be heading back down south again. So the signal yet for the dollar is still bullish, but we're still very short on dollar long term. It's just a matter of time when it's going to happen.
Sure. Yeah, no. And again, that dollar strength has a real bearish push on the gold world right now. I know, Gary, you mentioned several things there. The Fed staying so kind of tight has been a real driver on the gold world. For a little while, it seemed like it was kind of going the other way. It looked like the Fed was going to kind of start its easing process. And, in the last month or 2 months, we've kind of seen a lighting of that fire, which has really driven the price of gold down, but somewhat of a delayed response, actually. There was an initial push up on gold, came down later. Frank, I want to ask you, gold-wise, I know you're short. You're trailing a stop on it. Is that right?
Yes. So what I want to look at is tomorrow's GDP. So what this could do for gold and the indices. What I'm actually hoping for is a lower GDP, hopefully than expected. But if we were to take a look at the last 3 months, even if we've seen beats in the expectations, or in March it met. But overall, what we're seeing is a decline in GDP overall. So throughout the year, output in the U.S. has gone down. So hopefully what we're expecting this month or this quarter is 2.2%. Hopefully we'll see something lower than that, because I want to start looking at longer positions in the indices and potentially gold. Right now I'm still short gold. I'm trailing it. It hit the 1880s, where I thought it would go and test that low again. And so I guess right now I have my stop pretty tight, just to take the most out of the trade, just in case it rebounds. But for now, yeah, still got that short bias. And if GDP changes tomorrow, if it beats expectations and is higher than previous to, then I will probably be less bearish or less bullish. So just hoping for lower GDP overall, so I can look at longs on the indices. But here is gold. What I'm looking at here on the 1 day is price is now at 1884. A break lower than this is definitely going to be bearish. And then I guess my trade will continue, but up until then I'll just be trailing, and I'm looking at more shorts on the yen pairs. So I broke even on CAD yen. I'm still in euro yen short, and also short Kiwi Swiss. So just looking at all across the board, just mostly from COT and just risk off sentiment, what pairs look the best to trade overall. And so that's basically it for me.
Cool. Yeah. That chart looks so clean. Both of you guys have those bearish markups on gold. It's really interesting to see kind of some synergy there. Gary, so gold, again, you mentioned the big thing there is the dollar index driving higher. Until that cracks, gold doesn't look bullish. For people who maybe are bullish on gold or are interested in a buy, you kind of hinted at it, and I want to come back to you. If you want to show us our charts again, where does gold become bullish in your view? And kind of what signals would you be for perhaps people who are like, when is the turnaround? Where is the bullish idea coming in?
Yeah. So I wouldn't even pay attention right now on gold's pricing at all, rather than paying attention to what's happening on the dollar. You look at Dow, look at dollar, and look at those as signs of possible turnaround. If we start seeing the dollar starting to swing and turn, because we're looking for the next turn to be a long-term downside move. So if we see a turn in the dollar, then it will be time to start buying. Look, I'm going to be a long-term buyer in gold, and I'm talking about not buying spot. I'm talking about actually holding physical gold, and
Hmm.
so finding the best time to physically be purchasing gold would be once we start seeing the dollar start to turn. So anytime that happens, I would say that from this era right here all the way down here, this is my buy zone right there. And so if I see a sign of dollar changing momentum and turning around, I'm going to start buying in small increments and keep buying to a point where I'm convinced that the dollar now is turned. And then I'm going to go ahead and look at the chart on gold and look for my targets to the upside.
Gary, I didn't know you were a stacker. I am also a stacker. And I will say this, one thing that I've been very interested in regards to gold and silver. And I think this is interesting. I mentioned this to Frank. We were having this conversation earlier this week. We were talking about the most bullish situation for gold. As much as price looks very bearish right now, one of the most bullish environments for gold that I can possibly think of is exactly what you're talking about. Dollar strength is here right now. But what if inflationary pressures continue to stick around for the long term, but the economy at some point begins to crunch a little bit? As Frank mentioned, looking at tomorrow's GDP numbers might be an early sign. If we start to see contraction in the US economy, yet inflationary pressures are persisting, that stagflation, where you have high and rising prices while also unemployment problems and economic problems, that right there is the most bullish environment for gold, because that is the environment of true fear in the markets. The idea that central banks might not be able to conquer inflation without completely crumbling the economy is totally gold's, that is its shining stage. So that is, you mentioned that, Gary. I like to hear that. We're kind of all on the same page with that. The most bullish environment is true dollar sell-off due to recessionary problems. And that is where you're going to start to see, yields come crashing down, but not for the reasons that people are thinking. That's going to be the fear, the true fear environments. You see yields crashing, which brings the dollar down as people are, now factoring in recession. So recession is one of the most bullish scenarios possible for gold, especially if inflation remains persistent. So interesting kind of topic there, talking about the possible gold bull turn.
Right. And I'm going to say this, that right now, based on everything that's going on in the US here, if we start seeing GDP starting to slow down and we start to see that decline, then that is a big problem with a higher dollar, which means that because the biggest thing that feeds GDP here in the US is tourism. And if the dollar is very strong, that's not going to support anyone trying to travel here and bring in outside currency into this country, because the only way that the country can pay for its debt, which of course they're raking up pretty fast, is to have a high GDP, because GDP pays for the debt. And if they are not focusing in on the dollar and trying to sustain the dollar's rally and keep the dollar down, we're going to run into major problems here in the US. We're not going to be able to afford to pay our debt. GDP is going to keep coming down, and this is going to be a big problem for the US in the long term. So things are yet to shine. We're going to see it over the next 6 months, especially in the property market too.
Yeah, no, all good stuff, Gary. And again, I think this is the sort of wisdom that I think a lot of traders they don't get traversing, just standard YouTube. Yourself, Frank, me, and several of our guests, we really dive into the fundamentals, and we try and add that commentary on top of the charts. So, Gary, last thing I guess we could ask you, give us an unrelated chart that you are also watching. Anything else, maybe on the currency world? Got pound yen pulled up. You have an idea here?
Yep. Yes, pound yen. Now, pound yen has been moving up quite nicely, but there's a couple of things here. Firstly, some of you might know wolf waves. It's actually setting up a very nice wolf wave. It's a little extended out of the range that we'd like to see it, but a lot of traders look for the market to go ahead and start moving back below this trend line right here. But what I have noticed here on this chart right here is that we have seen price extend to the 1.618 right here. And at the moment right now, there's a lot of information here. This is the weekly. We have, let me just move out the information. We have now the market completing the 1.618. Now, this move right here, we're at a 1.27. I'm going to suspect that price is going to chase after this fourth wave low right here, possibly in target 140, 143. So I would say this is a monthly chart, but it's a sign of things to come. Therefore, traders should start paying attention down to the lower time frames and looking for some possibilities of what would keep the pound JPY from holding above support levels. And if there is nothing there, look for the break of supports and start looking to sell pound JPY to the downside. And a target of 143 is one of the targets to the downside.
Very cool. Yeah, Gary, I want to thank you for coming on as always and sharing some insights with us. Guys, in the chat, we're going to drop a link to Gary's channel. If you guys do not already follow Gary on YouTube, FX Big Tog and Traders Network Club, you can keep up with Gary, his ideas, his trading ideas and strategies. It's hard to cover it all in a quick live stream. So please subscribe to Gary, check him out. We got his link in the chat right now. And Gary, we'll see you on the next stream. Thank you very much for coming on. All right. See you, Gary. Yeah. And also, Frank, good conversations there. I think, we talked about this before when with Gary, that stagflation environment, as you alluded to with the GDP numbers tomorrow, that's going to be so interesting. Of course, we're not quite at the point where you can say, oh, we're in stagflation, but keeping an eye on the factors could be really interesting.
Right. Yeah. And just looking at the charts overall, like on gold, oil, it's just a very clear bias right now. So all that, when I talk about GDP, it is speculation. So I don't know if things are going to change for sure, but we just saw that death cross too on gold. I know we were talking about it earlier in the week, but the 50 SMA crossed under the 200. So now we're getting that sell signal from the momentum indicator. So really just it's mostly speculation. I'm not too sure what will happen with GDP, but I'm pretty sure that if you see, I forget how many quarters it is, but if you see a couple quarters in a row of declining recession, there's a certain number of them, declining GDP, that counts as a recession to some definition. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll see some lower numbers just so we can look at more buys on the indices.
Yep, for sure. And again, I would love to see the indices turn bullish at some point too. I know that's some of our favorite trades. So Frank, thank you for joining me on the show as always. And we'll be back tomorrow with the GDP numbers, which should be really interesting for gold, oil, dollar, indices, all of it. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, guys. And by the way, you can keep up with Frank and I in the Discord. If you're not already in our Discord channel, here's two things for you. I got a free thing for you, and I got an offer for you. The first free thing is if you're not already in our Telegram channel, we're going to drop a link right now in the chat. Make sure to join the Telegram. We've got some trading competition stuff going on that's free, some real prizes that you can earn. All of that information can be found in our Telegram channel. So first thing I've got for you, join the free Telegram. It is free to do. The second opportunity, if you are interested in it, Frank and I, we run a live room that we work very hard every day, myself and the rest of our team. There's Julie sending me a message now about something that's got to get fixed or done. If you would like to join us for our trade alerts as well, this is a service that Frank and I basically run. You can see all of the different trades that we are taking. For example, I am still long oil. I shared my oil trade yesterday, and this thing has just been flying high. I've got my stop loss locked in profit. And Frank also has been sharing his gold trade. We've actually had a really comeback week this week. Frank shorting gold, myself long oil, and we're sharing all of the details and trades inside of the group. We trade currency pairs, we trade gold, we trade indices. I even do some options, and Frank does some stocks. We are very busy in here. We're very active. And if you want the real deal, if you want to come learn, if you want to come trade with us, I've got a special offer for you. Click the link in the chat right now, and you can send a direct message to someone on our staff who will set you up with a membership. If you are looking to join the community, if you're looking to trade with us, we have memberships available. If you click this link, send us a direct message using this link, When you click this, click chat now and ask for the 15% off discount. You get a special discounted price on joining any of our membership options. You can come trade with Frank and I, join the chat rooms, join the coaching webinars, which Ivan hosts each week. And again, if you're serious and you're really interested in trading and you want to actually take it to the next level, we've taken so many traders from beginner to novice all the way to, funded or trading for themselves. So if you're not already in the group, come join us. I'm telling you, it is worth the investment. If you're somebody who is like, I would really like to learn and take this stuff seriously, but I don't know where to start, or you are struggling to get profitable, it is worth the membership. I'm telling you, it is worth it. I'm not just saying that. It is a very valuable resource to download our trading strategies, to trade alongside Frank and myself, to be able to send us a message and ask us a question, or join our coaching webinars when you would like to, if you'd like to learn something as well. We do sessions where Ivan basically hosts traders and works through problems with them that they might be facing. Join us. If you're not already in there, I'm telling you, I'm not just trying to sell something. It is genuinely worth the money. It is worth the investment. Because the last thing I will say, think about it this way. You buy a membership with us and you go to a demo account for a while and you learn something. You definitely gain value. But if you just trade in the live markets on a live account, you don't know what you're doing and you haven't gotten any sort of education or learned anything, you're likely just to blow that money and not learn anything. So think about your two options. Invest in a membership, join, learn something, meet people, join the community, or take that money and just blow it in the markets and not know what you're doing. Again, your choice, but I'm telling you, it is worth the membership price. Join us. We'll see you in there. If you're not already in there, click the link in the chat right now, message us, and we'll see you inside. Thanks, guys, very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you back on the next show.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you create a new trading account with ACAP, you can get tools like the EDGEFINDER completely for free. Check the link in the description for more information. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.